Let's get started with the Couchbase plugin for IntelliJ IDEs. I've got JetBrains Writer open, which is the JetBrains IDE for .NET. This will work for just about any JetBrains IDE, including RubyMine, IntelliJ IDEA, PHP Storm, etc. I'll go to File Settings, and then over to Plugins. I'll click Marketplace. This is where you can search for IntelliJ plugins. I'll search for Couchbase. Currently on version 1.0.6, that may change by the time you watch this video. There's an overview with some screenshots and detail. Also, you can click additional info to find the source code on GitHub, since this is open source. And this is the same place you can open issues to report bugs or request new features and get a quick intro on how to use it. I'll click Install to add this plugin to Writer, and I'll click Save to close out the plugins window. Now I can go to View, Tool Windows, Couchbase. We'll connect to Couchbase and do some basic CRUD operations. First, click Add New Connection here. This is where you'll put in the connection string and credentials. This plugin can connect to both Couchbase server installs that you manage yourself or Couchbase Capella, the cloud DBaaS. If you haven't signed up for a Capella trial, here's a convenient button. Free trial requires no credit card. I'll paste my Capella connection string as well as my database access username and password, and I'll test the connection just to make sure I got everything right. Then I'll hit Save. Once connected, I can start browsing the buckets, scopes, collections, and documents in Couchbase. I have some data already here from the Conduit project. Let's look at an article document. It's opened up right here in Writer. I can make changes to it and it will be saved to the database. Now I want to show you something I think is really cool and potentially a big time saver and accuracy helper. Let's create a new document here in Articles. I'll give it a key of whatever, it doesn't matter, and I'll check the Generate Template Document checkbox. A new document is created and ready to edit, but notice that this plugin was able to suggest what fields you probably want based on the other documents in the collection. A very cool feature to help you keep your JSON data in order.
I want to explore the SQL++ Workbench. I'm going to start by selecting a cluster and then clicking the New Query Workbench icon. In this Workbench tab, I can write some SQL++ to query articles from my Conduit application. And if you don't want to type out the fully qualified collection name, you can also select the query context, a bucket, and scope. I can execute this query with the green play button. The results will appear in a window down below. I can view the results in JSON format or table format, which isn't always useful for certain kinds of JSON data, but it can be helpful from time to time. Also notice the Explain tab down here. This tab shows the execution plan of the query. Each step of the query process is shown, along with the number of records processed at each step, and which indexes are being used, and the total percentage of the runtime for the query for each step. The color of each step corresponds to how much time is taken up, green being relatively quick, and yellow to darker yellow the more time a step takes up. This is a valuable tool for understanding queries and improving performance.
This time I've connected to Couchbase Capella. I'm using a free trial account, so there's automatically some sample travel data in there. Let's look at hotels. Hotels have a bunch of fields, but today I'm focused on hotel name, geo-coordinates, that's latitude and longitude, the country, and overall ratings. I'm executing a query to return 20 hotels, name, lat long, and an average of all the overall ratings. Here are the results in JSON, and here's the results in a table, just like I've shown before. But in JetBrains with the Couchbase plugin, there are some more interesting ways to view data. I'll click on Charts. First one is a line chart. I'll select Name and Rating. Next is Bar. I'll select Name and Rating again. Pie, same thing, Name and Rating. And Donut. Now I'm sure a data engineer could massage these queries and visualizations to make them a little more visually interesting. But I want to show you one more. It's the map. I'll select Latitude and Longitude. And you get to see all the points on a map visualization with labels. Today I want to show you how easy it is to move data from MongoDB over to Couchbase. I've connected to Couchbase Capella trial instance, so I've got some sample data already in there. And I've got MongoDB running locally in Docker, also loaded with some sample Airbnb data. First thing, I'm going to create a new scope in my Couchbase bucket called From Mongo. This is where the collections from Mongo will be copied. Next, right-click on the cluster, and you'll see Tools and MongoDB to Couchbase Migration. Enter the Mongo connection string. I'm just copy-pasting from Mongo Compass. I'll click Test Connection, then choose the Mongo database and one or more collections I want to copy over. I have just the one Airbnb. Also notice that Migrate Indexes is checked by default to create equivalent indexes in Couchbase. Then I choose where to put that data in Couchbase. I select a bucket, travel sample, and the new scope from Mongo, and then I click Import. Depending on how much data you're moving and network latency, it could be very quick or take a while to copy all the data over. Success! The data and indexes have been copied. So let's look at one of the documents, and I'll grab the ID from Couchbase metadata, and I'll paste that into Compass, the ID number here. And here's the Mongo document with the same name. So there you have it, an easy way to migrate data and indexes from Mongo into Couchbase. You can also connect to Couchbase Lite databases. Now, Couchbase Lite is an embedded database that can be used for offline first, mobile, edge, or IoT applications, and its data can be automatically synced with Couchbase Capella or Server. Let's click on the CB Lite tab in the plugin view. I'm going to import CB Lite database, and then I'm going to specify a CB Lite database I've created locally with some generated data in it. I can explore scopes, collections, and documents. I can open documents right here in JetBrains Writer or whatever JetBrains IDE you're using, make changes, and save to the database. Now, you can use Couchbase Lite standalone, but the best superpower it gives you is automatic sync. You can connect the Couchbase Lite database to Sync Gateway or Capella App Services right here in the IDE. All this means that you can be more productive because access to your code, database, and sync is all available right here in your favorite JetBrains IDE.